And so I think like it's just shocking for them to see.
Chelsea Houska DeBoer looks like a totally different person now compared to when she first stepped into the spotlight. Over the last few years, she's been making bizarre changes to her face that have left her almost unrecognizable. But what kind of cosmetic procedures has Chelsea really had? The truth behind her insane transformation is honestly shocking, so let's get into it. When Chelsea first rose to MTV fame on 16 and Pregnant and Teen Mom 2, she was only 18 years old, so it makes sense that her appearance has changed somewhat over the years considering she's 32 now. But the aging process still doesn't explain why her face looks alarmingly different. Chelsea used to have natural beauty with an expressive smile, but now her face almost looks like it's made of plastic. She's always had a slightly oval-shaped face, but it's extremely elongated now and appears to be drooping down more than ever. Strangely enough, Chelsea's jaw and cheekbones look incredibly pronounced, which has made her face appear wider overall. There are also parts of her face, especially near her mouth and eyebrows, that basically don't move anymore. Chelsea is no stranger to getting Botox, and her dad has even given her the injections. Since he works as a dentist and has his own office, Randy has been able to help Chelsea keep up with her Botox for a long time. But over the last few years, it seems like her injections are doing much more than just erasing her wrinkles, and not in a good way. Chelsea has relied so heavily on Botox to keep her looking young that it started to have the total opposite effect. Her eyes appear to be drooping down at the outside corners because areas near them have been overfilled. But Botox clearly isn't the only thing she's had done to her face, considering her lips have gone from natural looking to ridiculously large. A few years ago, Chelsea was still denying ever getting lip filler until multiple people pointed out the very noticeable difference in the size of her lips, so she definitely admitted to having a little bit of filler. According to the US Sun, Chelsea even showed herself at a filler touch-up appointment in photos she shared to her Instagram story in November 2022. But these days, Chelsea's lips are starting to look completely unnatural. She's talked about wanting them to be a little plumper without looking too crazy, but she's definitely gone too far. She's had so much filler added to them that they look seriously unbelievable. Now, Chelsea's top lip rolls up a lot at the corners of her mouth. It usually looks like there's an extra fold of skin on the outside corners that was never there before she started getting her lips enhanced. Many people believe that she's also had filler injected in other areas of her face. The upper part of Chelsea's cheekbones has recently started to appear fuller than ever. Some social media users speculated that she might have even had a cheek implant procedure, but it could be just the result of too much filler. The same can be said for Chelsea's chin and jaw, which have been constantly morphing over the last few years. In a video posted to her Instagram story, she revealed that she had recently started getting Botox in her jaw, and the reason why was truly bizarre. Chelsea explained that whenever she was feeling really stressed or anxious, she would clench her teeth a lot. Apparently, when she was getting her regular Botox touch-ups, the person injecting her suggested that she get Botox in her jaw to help her clench her teeth less. But there's another facial feature of Chelsea's that seems to look quite a bit different than it used to. Many people have speculated that she's either had a surgical nose job or a Botox nose job because the tip of her nose appears smaller and the bridge looks more narrow. But there's yet another noticeable difference in one of Chelsea's facial features, especially compared to several years ago. She used to have more hooded eyes, but now they look like they've gone through an unreal transformation. Now the space between Chelsea's eyelids and brow bone appears much larger and her eyes look more open. Some people suspected that she might have had a blepharoplasty or a surgery to remove extra skin from her eyelids, but it's possible that she may have had a much simpler and less invasive procedure. Chelsea might have had a Botox brow lip, which could achieve basically the same result as a blepharoplasty. And considering all the other places on her face that she regularly gets injected with Botox, it wouldn't be a surprise if she added her upper eye and brow area to the list. Chelsea may not be able to tell how drastically her appearance has transformed solely from Botox and fillers, but even just getting regular upkeep injections done frequently over the years can cause so many unexpected facial changes. According to an article by HuffPost, filler fatigue happens when a person has had so much filler injected that it reaches their facial tissue over time. Michelle Yagoda, a plastic surgeon based in New York, told the outlet that even if someone gets their filler dissolved professionally, the damage has probably already been done. She explained that every time someone gets filler injected, affected, that area underneath the skin increases in size and eventually a big pocket is created. That pocket requires even more filler injected into it just to give the typical desired effect. But what happens when someone with filler fatigue continues to get more injections over time is honestly insane. Michelle added that sometimes people will try to inflate those pockets with so much extra filler that it results in their face looking super wide and disproportionate. But when they attempt to balance out their facial features by getting more filler in other areas, it just leads to the same cycle of overfilling. That could explain why Chelsea's cheeks are starting to appear wider and her cheekbones have been looking so much more pronounced. It also doesn't help that her teeth also seem to be a brighter white and larger than ever, which indicates that she could have gotten veneers. But it's not just Chelsea's face that's changed a crazy amount over the years. A lot of social media users have speculated that Chelsea has either had a tummy tuck or liposuction. There's no denying that her strict diet and extreme exercise regimen have helped her to stay in shape, but not everyone is convinced that she's only taken the natural route to get so fit and toned. As weird as it sounds, many people on Teen Mom Reddit forums have pointed out that Chelsea's belly button has changed so much over time. She used to have a totally normal looking belly button, but now it appears to just be a very small dented area on her abdomen. But that's not all. About a year and a half ago, Chelsea's Instagram followers noticed something crazy. Despite her intense workout routine and her thin frame, her chest suddenly appeared to be much larger than before. According to the US Sun, Chelsea has been promoting some new clothes from her collaboration with Laura Bellas. In photos that she shared to her Instagram story, the tops she had on were very form-fitting, which made it very easy to see that her chest looked much different. A lot of people began to suspect that Chelsea had recently had work done to enhance the size of her chest. She almost never addresses any plastic surgery rumors about herself, but as a couple of years ago, she was still denying that she'd ever had any cosmetic procedures done other than Botox and fillers. Chelsea has been open about the facial treatments that she regularly gets, like micro peels and board band light treatments, but considering how much her face has changed throughout the years, it's definitely possible that she secretly had some other procedures done. But even if Chelsea is currently sticking to only Botox and fillers, she might want to be careful about not overdoing it. Based on how wide and downturned parts of her face are starting to look, she might be dealing with filler fatigue. So instead of continuing to overfill more areas on her face, Chelsea may need to get some of her filler professionally dissolved. Otherwise, she's going to end up looking even more unrecognizable than she already does. But anyway, now that we've gone through the crazy cosmetic changes that Chelsea has made to her face, I want to know what you guys think. What are your thoughts on how drastically her face has changed over the years? Do you think there's any truth to Chelsea's claims that she's never had anything besides Botox and fillers to change her appearance? Let me know in the comments below.